Evening. We are back after a break yesterday. Um, Obviously the scientist was doing his charity stream last night, which was a really good event for the community as a whole, but also because he is quite the treasure trove of information, so if you're able to find a VOD of that or you're interested, I would recommend taking a look. Right, today I am trying something a bit different, just having a bit of fun really, playing around with Songhai, and more specifically a spell-focused Songhai. This is largely because most of my normal decks weren't really working out for me, getting trashed by Vitruvian again and again and again, but also not having the best of time against other decks either. So, we shall see how this goes. I'll chuck Saber Spine back, so that's going to be the least useful. Just equip Mask of Shadows and move up to pretend I'm interested in contesting the middle, which generally I'm not. By playing Mask of Shadows it can be a win condition, but isn't really the win condition of this deck. The win condition of this deck is Blood Rage, Mask and spells. So by playing stuff like Mask of Shadows, I kind of bait people into trying too hard to remove it when, obviously, like I said, I'm not really that bothered about it. Can't play Silhouette Tracer. Might just Phoenix Fire this to get rid of it. Blast minions aren't too much of a problem with this deck, because what we can do is use Mist Walking and Silhouette Tracer to move around the board so that we don't have to be as weak to them as most decks are, because we're not really interested in a board state. I think I've got about 7 minions in this deck in total. So I could play Mana Forger and juxtaposition this, but that's a touch weak, really. Alternatively, I can just Cyclone Mask and Ghost Lightning. Probably the most efficient way to deal with this with the hand I've got right now. I'm going to move back. Right, I want to Ghost Lightning this because otherwise it gives too many opportunities to ping off my artifacts, and I've got 7 artifacts in this deck, so kind of making it difficult for him to remove them is pretty key. Okay, so another Jaxi. Maybe Rashes or Saber Spine? Yeah. So I'm completely okay with him throwing Saber Spines at me repeatedly, because it means I don't have to deal with Third Wish, obviously, or at least a cat rushing at me with Third Wish. So I can either Twilight Sorcerer here to get a Phoenix Fire back, or alternatively I can look at Silhouette Tracering in behind this. But then I don't have a good way to deal with the mini jacks anyway, so that's weak, though I expect this is getting Third Wish. I don't really need 8 gates right now. Don't have any spells, so yeah, I think the play here is to... So if I move, play my Twilight Sorcerer out in front. So, oh, it's a Ghost Lightning, so that works out even better in fact. We've only got 1 mana, so I'm just going to go ahead and kill this. And Ghost Lightning again, just to free up the space. This isn't the best use of Ghost Lightning, especially not when I have 8 gates in the deck and can do 3 damage pulled wide with it, which for 1 mana or 0 mana with the Mana Forger is obviously huge, but I'm more interested in making him overextend to get my artifacts than I am anything else. So I can get behind this and backstab this, which is probably the best play given the hand I have. I don't need both Mask of Shadows. He's probably going to try and run away from me and get the last charge of my Mask of Shadows off of me. And so if he attacks into me from like a diagonal and does that, then I can equip the other one and really punish him for it. So I think we throw back the spiral technique. I'm going to move this guy out of the field just so he's a bit more threatening. And then we've got 6 mana, so boom, silhouette tracer 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't actually get me behind it, does it? So that's a bit of a problem. Seeing as I've just talked about for the entire turn how I'm going to go and backstab that. Realistically, the best answer is just to Phoenix Fire it. So in that case, we're just going to do this. Keep the board clear, draw a few more cards. Obviously we've got Mask of Shadows, possibly 2 Mask of Shadows if we want to come in and really punish him. I'm sure I equipped 2 Blood Rage Masks there. Okay. So, do we have lethal here? Probably not. I can Silhouette Tracer up to here, move Mistwalk. Double backstab with Mask of Shadows is 14 damage. So is it worth going for it just for the pressure play? Alternatively, we could just spiral attack and save that for next turn. These are going to get third wish though. So even with double third wish, that would be 9, 11, 14, 16. Am I going to get another chance to backstab him though? Probably not. I feel like that's the best play at the moment. Thing is, now he's kind of, if he can't lethal me, he's obliged to clear these 2 off, in which case I will definitely survive and probably keep a charge of Mask as well. Oh, so that's Rashes. There is a chance I'm dead. I feel like it's quite small though. However, leaving this space open here feels like a bit of a bait, so maybe I should have considered that. If he doesn't kill me this turn, I'd definitely kill him next turn. Now, is that an oops because he misplayed, or is it an oops because I've misplayed? I think he misplayed, which is fine. So he can't even kill this at this rate. So yeah, Spiral Technique definitely kills him. I feel like, yeah, I wasn't sure whether that, like, the way he'd spaced his minion and left this big juicy spot at the back of him was just an elaborate bait. In that I'd go in there and get like 8 damage with my 1 mask and then get trashed by like 3 third wishes or something ridiculous, but obviously that didn't happen. Anytime that you can get a backstab on the general with 2 Mask of Shadows though, I feel like you almost have to take it. This is a poor hand, shall we say. So my thought process with this deck really is just that there's so many removal spells and spell cycling decks on the ladder at the moment that kind of playing minions just feels like a crapshoot between whether you are going to just have it like immediately removed or whether you'll be able to do anything at all. And kind of the issue, especially like with Vanna, tend to, or at least I've run into a lot of Vanna that run things like Flash Freeze as well lately, which is yet another control spell that stops your minions from doing anything. And so I feel like by playing a deck with no minions, first of all, or very few minions anyway, first of all you make a lot of their cards that they've teched in to remove and silence dead draws in the first place. Obviously they can use it on Mana Forgers, but how likely is someone really going to want to use it on a 2-drop, at least early in the game? I don't know. So by doing it this way, I kind of feel like I am always in a good position in that I don't have many minions to remove. By having more spells, I have a lot more removal options, and then from there, obviously I've got a lot of burst damage as well. So that's the general theory behind this deck. So we can Artifact Hunter Vortex. No, we can't. That's too much. So at this point, Chuck Miss walking back. Not great. I feel like playing the Mana Forger and Twin Striking is the best strategy here. Only because it gets another card out of my hand, so I get to draw all 3. So that's okay. Juxtaposition is kind of a one-off in this deck because I don't really ever have a minion on the board, like I say. It's more to keep a bigger threat away from me than it is to get myself in position for anything, because I don't really run the minions to do it. Quite possibly I'll end up swapping this for like another Onyx Bear Seal. It's kind of a dead card. If nothing else, it's just another proc for Blood Rage Mask if I have multiple Blood Rage Masks up, but Onyx Bear Seal would be as well. It's just a slightly more expensive way to do it. Right, if this snipes my Mana Forger, that's annoying, but doesn't look... Was he already replaced? No. So that's annoying. It's a Mechasaur deck, so I'm not really ever going to get a chance to use Onyx Bear Seal on Mechasaur. Onyx Bear Seal just takes up my whole turn. I don't have another play then except to like Mana Vortex it and then play Cyclone Mask. Or I can put Artifact Hunter on here and then do it, which possibly better. But then I'm in range to be backstabbed, which pretty much would be game over. So, chuck Juxta away. Silhouette Tracer doesn't really help here either. Yeah, I don't like this hand much. Just doing this for lack of a better option. The Mana Vortex will give me a draw. And White Widow's obviously going to constantly ping my artifacts and Mana Forges and stuff, so that can go. Have Silhouette and Mistwalking to get away this turn, so I don't need to be too worried about him closing the gap. So, if anything, like this is the issue with having a few minions in this deck, whereas I could possibly just go and have none at all, but I feel like the mobility from the Silhouette Tracers and the potential of drawing into something that you can immediately use from the Artifact Hunter are worth having them in the deck, but I don't have many. I think I have 2 Silhouette Tracers, 1 Artifact Hunter, and 2 Twilight Sorcerers on top of the 3 Mana Forgers, and I think that's it, so it's about 10 minions in total. They're also useful in a sense for body blocking. Alright, so I can just Saber Spine and kill off the Scarlet Viper. Otherwise, I can drop Artifact Hunter and maybe get a Mask of Shadows, but that doesn't really help in dealing with that yet. Right, okay. So we're going to walk, Saber Spine, drop the Artifact Hunter here, kill this, another Cyclone Mask which isn't ideal. We can replace that for now. Blood Rage Mask is better. Do I save this though for when he equips artifacts, or do I just equip it now? It's not likely to get pinged off. I think I just equip it now. Then I can't miswalk. Do I need to? I'm going to anyway, just so I get the extra card draw. It's really important to cycle through this deck as quickly as possible. To find your answers first of all, and because I don't have minions, I don't have any heals or anything like that, I can't really afford to stall the game out. I have to use my resources kind of as I get them and use my mana as efficiently as possible. There are caveats to that, like if I'm under no threat and I'm on the other side of the board, then I don't really need to. I can save it for a big like 8 gates Phoenix Fire combo or something like that, but as it stands I kind of need to win this game as quickly as possible before I get Mechazord. Oh, that was a big combo. I could really do with 8 gates Ghost Lightning now. Well, he could have attacked me and let that minion survive, so I would have had to deal with it, but okay. I'm not really likely to use Spiral Technique this turn. What to do? I probably just Tracer away and Phoenix Fire. So Blood Rage Mask and Phoenix Fire. Right, these can't get to me. Do I trade this or do I just go face? I think I just go face. I've got a lot of damage or a lot of potential damage in hand, so I really need to pressure him as much as I can. I've got 8 gates, Phoenix Fire is 5. With Mana Forger and Heaven's Eclipse, good chance that... Okay, Zenru in a Mechazord deck is a bit of an odd one. Okay, so he's using the Pando to protect from backstab. So, I can replace the Cyclone Mask for a start. So we've got 8 gates Ghost Lightning, which pretty much clears the board. It's okay. So we can drop 8 gates Ghost Lightning. There's a chance this gives us another Phoenix Fire, which is just like straight up lethal. No. Okay. This is fine. I'm not going to juxtaposition these obviously, because it's not really in my interest to do so. So now he's pretty much dead. I don't see how he survives this. Even with 2 Emerald Rejuvenators, that only puts him to 11. Spiral Technique and Phoenix Fire kills him. Like some bizarro Mechazor control Songhai deck. I have no idea. Okay, yeah, he's definitely dead. Obviously, even within a focus, doesn't matter. So it gets rid of my Cyclone Mask, but not worried about that. So I feel like this deck is kind of a case of metagaming the metagame, in that obviously when you run into Songhai you expect it to be Tuskboars, Lantern Fox, Mask of Shadows, that kind of thing. And that's kind of why equipping Mask of Shadows early works for me as well, because if you move forward, you kind of bluff that you moving towards the contest the mana tiles, you equip Mask of Shadows, you look like you're just the normal mid-range or aggro Songhai deck that you face pretty much all the time on the ladder. However, then if you back off and you start to use your spells, if you've still got Mask of Shadows equipped, people will often overextend to try and get rid of that because of the threat it presents. They will also play a lot more passively if they don't have answers to it, because they don't want to come up towards you and risk you tracering in behind them and backstabbing them for 8 or 14 or however much damage it is. And so it kind of gives you a couple of extra turns to pretend that you're doing a bit more than you actually are, if you like. So I'm going to keep Ghost Lightning in case it's a swarm deck. 2 Ghost Lightnings, in fact. I feel like I could probably do with another Heaven's Eclipse in this deck, only because it really helps you fishing for spells that you actually need later in the game. But this is kind of what I mean. This isn't normal positioning for how you would typically approach the early game. Normally you would put this Jaxi to one of the sides so that it kind of is in position to walk onto one of these mana tiles if it isn't dealt with. It's like it still is, but usually it's put there to kind of shield it as well. Whereas this is kind of an aggressive stance, I guess, because they desperately want to get my Mask of Shadows off. So I can just Twin Strike here, which is kind of bad because it leaves the Jax, mini Jax up and the Healing Mystic, but if I back off then I've got Ghost Lightning to deal with that next turn, so I'm just going to do that for the extra draw. Obviously I can just kill this next turn if I wanted to, but in all likelihood it's going to be a Ghost Lightning. Okay, so this is what I mean, like, I've got a full hand, so that's good Darkseed value anyway, but I feel like people would usually save Darkseed for a more valuable play later in the game than just dump it on you straight away. Maybe I'm wrong. Right, so what is the play? I don't really have a good one. Boom, boom. Tracer doesn't get me behind, so that's not any good. We can just Ghost Lightning, but it kind of is a bit weak. Move along Tracer up to here, that gives me 1 extra mana, which doesn't achieve anything. I'm just going to do this. I don't need the Mana Vortex, but it gives me another draw. And another new set of Blood Rage Mask. So in all likelihood I'll get another Darkseid or a Void Pulse or something here, or to get another charge off my mask, but Vorpal Reaver, okay. So I could probably do with an Onyx Bear Seal to deal with that. Or a Cyclone Mask. What have I cast so far? Nothing really worth keeping the Sorcerer for just yet. So I can Mistwalk, Walk, Tracer, Backstab. That puts me in range of all the rush minions and everything else though. I don't know how much I like that. I can Vortex and Ghost Lightning off the little shits though. I think I have to because I don't have a better play otherwise. And I can't get behind them, I don't think. Like, yeah, just... It's good enough for now. Mask of Shadows gets taken off. I've got another one if they stay close to me. With the Saber Spine Seal as well, so that's obviously big damage. Almost lethal, in fact, if I drew into like a Phoenix Fire or something like that as well. Okay, so Dark Seed's 4. So I've got 2 Void Pulses, that hurts. Okay. So this is kind of awkward, because running from them doesn't do much for me. I could have done with a Mistwalk in there, but I'm not getting it. So this is bad. I mean, I can drop the Mana Forger, but probably drop it here, so that at least protects from rush. So I'll have to use a bit more than that. Yeah, not in a good spot in this game, that's for sure. If they've got like a Lure or Shadow Nova, then I'm having a bad time here. Night Sorrow is also a bad time. Right, okay, that's not too bad. Still can't get behind, obviously. Don't need Onyx Bear Seal now, I don't think. So that can go back. Mistwalking still doesn't get me behind. Can't use Twin Strike either. This is just a bit awkward. I probably should have killed this. Really could have done with a Cyclone Mass there. I think I just Mistwalk back to try and prolong the game a bit. Move this over here so that he has to make a choice between which he's going to go for. So there's Cyclone Mask, which helps slightly but not much. But he needs to draw into like 8 gates and Heaven's Eclipse. Yeah. Possibly needed to go more aggressive than I did in that game. But I didn't really have the draws for it either. Like, I could have postured to get behind, but then if I don't have kind of effective follow-up turns, then I just get done by Shadow Reflection and Brush minions, which obviously is what happened at the end. I suppose they're going to get you wherever on the board you are. Do I keep Blood Rage or Mask of Shadows? Probably Mask of Shadows. Same hand. Okay, so we'll just equip Mask of Shadows and then we'll throw Saber Spine back, I think. Okay. Yeah, so we'll throw Saber Spine back. Twin Strike obviously doesn't do much for us this turn. Do I move up? If I do, then this hits me. But that kills it, so that's okay. Like I say, Mask of Shadows isn't a win condition, and this is a bit dangerous if I trace it. Might just Onyx Bear Seal this. Or I can Blood Rage Mask and Twin Strike. That's a bit weak. Right, twin strike and see what happens. I might be able to like throw the Fenrir back or something. And, that's just not good. This is where I wish I didn't move up, but I will. Now I get Tracer. Ghost Lightning would be very nice. Yeah, I think Juxtaposition is just kind of not that great for me here. So I can Mistwalk Tracer. Left me a charge of Mask of Shadows though, so... Do I equip this? Probably not yet. So I feel like leaving a charge on my mask was a mistake. If they move up here and don't play a minion behind them, because I guess this is getting hailstoned, I don't see why they would have left it up otherwise. Now I wish I had Juxtaposition. Okay. Onyx Bear Seal's kind of useless here. Saber Spine is kind of useless, or is it? I can kill this. Or can I? I'd have to Saber Spine this. So I could double Blood Rage, Saber Spine. That's 11 damage, plus the 2 from this. So 13. It's not really good enough right now. Tough call. This is a risk, because if I just get stuck in the corner I get screwed. But that's the best draw I could possibly hope for in this scenario. The only thing that messes me up there is a like Ancient Grove or something, but I can't see that happening. I think this is going to be potentially the most satisfying Ghost Lightning in the history of the game, and I'm really going to enjoy it. You didn't even hit me. Okay, this is going to be brutal. Just doing that to protect myself from the Dancing Blades, but this game's pretty much over. I can't understand why they've left Mask of Shadows on for this long. Alright, so what do we want to replace? Twin Strike. Potentially gets me another draw. I don't really need Mistwalking here. Well, that doesn't finish the game just yet. Oh wait, yes it does. What am I talking about? Strange. Like I say, I really feel like they should have hit me. Like, I know that Healing Mystic was protecting their back I only had one charge left on Mask of Shadows. And I'm sure there's some way they could have manoeuvred that better so that they weren't in position to get ruined like that. But maybe they'll play it differently now. Same person again. So we're going to keep Mask of Shadows again. Ghost Lightning is nice, Tracer is nice. Though I prefer Shadows and Tracer going second because obviously you start with 3 mana, so you can use the Mask and then Tracer behind them, turn 2. Whereas I can't do that here. I'm going to keep the hand as it is though, and just equip the Mask. I don't really have a play next turn. I'm not going to use Ghost Lightning obviously because the combo with 8 gates is just too potent against Vanar. There's just no reason to use it right now. So what do we throw back? Artifact Hunter. Mistwalking doesn't quite get me there. Mana Forger, no, that doesn't do it either. Okay. So do I move up and kind of bait the backstab? No, I don't think I do. I think I just move back. Because this way, if they push towards me, I can use the combination of Mistwalking and Tracer to get behind them. Whereas, if I moved up, maybe that's a bit too telegraphed. That's some fortunate Dreamgazer placing at the moment. So I can do it, but I'd probably get raped the next turn because I would have to move over here, Tracer or Mistwalk. Yeah, no, it's too convoluted. I haven't cast a spell yet this game. It's not really that important though. Kind of an awkward hand. I could do with him trading off his Jaxi so that I've got more of a reason to use a Ghost Lightning, because at the moment there's just no point. Well, now I have a reason to use one. So 8 gates would be really nice. Why do you trade that Jaxi? I guess, like, if you're desperate to get rid of that minion, you do, but you just waste the Dying Wish. I don't understand. Right. I don't really need the second Mana Forger. I think we just go for it. So I'm not sure how much I need the Mana Forgers in this deck. Like, occasionally they can come up pretty clutch and getting you like a big combo off, like they did a couple of games ago with the 8 gates into Heaven's Eclipse, so that you can combo your spells and cycle better. I wish I had that Tracer now. Chromatic Cold again. No? Okay. Alright, they didn't have enough mana. So I'm going to throw back one of these Mana Forgers. Juxtaposition is kind of crap. This is just really not a good hand. There's no, like, good way to use Mistwalking here. If I get over to this corner, then I'm only likely to take damage from one source, but he's got another chromatic cold, so I lose all of my artifacts no matter what I do. So do I just go for as much value from them as I can? Do I just mist walk here, equip my other mask, it's in for 6. It's not great. But I've got 2 Blood Rage masks as well, so I would also do another 6. Yeah, I'm just going to go for it. This is like kind of an all-in play. I could get punished for this pretty hard, but given the hand I had, I didn't really want to just miss walk over here and then lose my artifact anyway. I wanted to get as much value out of the masks as I could. So if I get punished, I get punished, but there's a very good chance that I draw into lethal in 1 or 2 turns, so I kind of just wanted to go for it. Okay, so Maniforge can go back, Cyclone Mask isn't really good enough. Like, it is in a sense, but not really. Does that do it? No, not quite. Gotta go for it anyway, just to pressure lethal next turn. As far as I can see, he's only got 5 damage on the board here. Even Razorback doesn't kill me. Razorback Chromatic Cold doesn't kill me, so I should be okay. Like, so this is 5, 7. I think, like, outside of Razorback Chromatic Cold, I think I'm okay. We can hope. As with any deck like this, there's going to be some inconsistencies. Could be a double Razorback, in which case I am fucked. Yeah, I'm dead. Oh well. Maybe I should have killed the Fenrir. I just felt like it was a very specific combination of cards that would deal with me there, and he had them. So maybe I could have played slightly safer, knowing that I had a ton more burst in my deck. I didn't really need to kind of go for it. It's not like I was running out of options to kill him, so that was a misplay. I could have done better with that.